Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
Here comes Bentley Glacier! Does he time the move? He goes high! Shimano Black turns the pretty green!
Contact there entering turn one.
Around goes the 9! Oh, he comes back up the track and he gets blocked! Josiah pitching up into the air! Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the BTDY Racing Series. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It is BTDY Night in America here on a Tuesday night for the Talladega Super Speedway Season 4, presented by KHIO. Here it is, the BTDY Clash from the Talladega Super Speedway, and this is the Kickstarter to Season number 4, and what a better place than to start it at Talladega, and what we know is going to be a wild and anticipated start to the season. As always, everybody, I'm Alec Martinez, and joining me tonight, well, we got Adam Baker, and we got our producer and our color commentator tonight, Logan Thurkel. Gentlemen, it's great to be back. It's great to be with you guys. It's BTDY Night in America. I can't say there's much things better on a Tuesday night.
Absolutely beautiful night here at Talladega for the Clash. Looking forward to seeing these guys get at it and do a little bumping and beating and banging and race for the glory here tonight. It is great to be in the booth with you, Alec, once again, and also Logan. Great to have you on board with us tonight running the show. Talladega Super Speedway, you got the track information up for us. 2.66 miles in length. It is the longest oval that NASCAR goes to, and that's where we're kicking off tonight's race this season. And season number 4, like you said, bound to be a good one. We've got a good sized field here for this race. It is not points paying, but there is still glory and bragging rights on the line for these guys tonight. Looking forward to seeing who gets a win here to kick things off.
And we'll look at our race analysis. Logan, we look at how we know this race, it's an exhibition race, but I mean, we look at these race analysis. What do you got for us here?
So tonight at Talladega, to kickstart this season 4, so excited to be here with you guys. We've got 45 laps tonight, 2 tire sets over the wall, 3 green-white checkered attempts, an 80% fuel load in these race cars, iRacing fix setup, And most importantly, because it's Talladega, one quick repair tonight for these drivers.
And there's a pretty good chance we're going to probably see a lot of these drivers use one of those. Although, like you said, 45 laps. I don't know if we have a stage or not, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe a fun caution. But gentlemen, there are 19 cars, and let's go into our starting grid here for tonight. How about Chris Simard starting on the pole once again to get this season kicked off, and he's got the pole with the 54.721, and then Jake Mackey rolls off in that 99 car. We saw him make a couple starts last season. Well, he's back in full time this year in that 99. He'll roll off second behind them. The two-time defending champion Jeff Wright will roll off in third. Dennis Faircloth will be rolling off in fourth. Jace Coley will be rolling off in the fifth, Justin Carey will be rolling off in fifth. Chase Coley, a rookie this season, will roll off in sixth. Seventh, Noah Mahalski will roll off in the 03 car, and Seth Hatchell rolls off in eighth. Cody Atkins is ninth, and Michael Jones is 10th.
In the 11th spot tonight, it's going to be James Loveland. Good to see him back in the 02 machine. Dallas Sullivan going to start from the 12th spot. Max Koss rolls off from 13th, the winner of, I believe it was last year's Clash. Looking forward to see if he can go back-to-back. Alan Dice starts from the 14th spot here tonight. Kevin Fry going to roll off from 15th. AJ Stravado qualifies in 16th. We don't see him on the racetrack. We'll see if he joins us out here. Ray Massey in 17th. Brett Baldeck in 18th. And Todd Giles Jr. going to round out the field in 19th. So good size field, only 45 laps tonight.
Yeah.
See who makes their way to the front.
Well, it's good to see some returning faces, some new faces, and of course, some faces that have won the championship. It's BTDY night in America. Tuesday nights, well, they're back, and they're a lot more entertaining because the BTDY season is underway. The Clash from Talladega is green.
As they roar on by here down the backstretch, it's Jeff Wright jumping to the outside and taking the lead away from Chris Simard. Already a move from the 48, the two-time champion. He's going to drop down in front of the 77 and seal off the bottom lane. He'll lead out of turn number 4. We'll see if the outside line has anything that they can say to that, but good opening lap for the driver of the 48.
And he's going to pick up right where he left off, unless Jake Mackey has anything to say about it. He has a push for the Sid Magic Toyota Supra of Dennis Faircloth to the line. Jeff Wright picks up right where he left off, leading the field into turn 1, but the outside lane surging right on the outside with Faircloth, Mackey, and Coley on the outside. There's Seth Hatchell, and it's going to be weird to say this now is that there's two-time champions in the field, and now you're looking at AJ Stravado, maybe one of those drivers to regain. It's only, although I don't know if he got out on the racetrack here, but now we got two-time champions, and I'm sure later as we unload into Daytona, we'll have a lot more guys looking to contest for that championship this year.
Yeah, and AJ Stravado is one of those who has a championship in the bag. He's looking to add to that, maybe join those other two multi-time champions. And like you said, it's the first time we've been able to say that, as Jeff Wright got the championship last season, and he's looking so good so far. Leads at the line that time over Jake Mackey, who's still leading the outside groove. Dennis Faircloth looks like he might try and take it 3 wide here.
He is, but Faircloth going to poke out of the line. That means leaves Carey, Simard, and right to clear him. Mahalski will be able to jump up there as that bottom lane surging ahead, but Coley going to give a shove to Mackey, and that's going to put Hatchell third car in line. And how about that 02 James Loveland, also in that Ford Mustang, going to be rolling up. Usually seeing him in a Chevy, and now in a Ford, so that's cool to see in that bright white and blue and red number 2. And so far, everybody stays on the bottom. Logan, I'm seeing a little bit of moving around. Obviously, with there being exhibition races, there goes Carey up to the outside, but like to see the racing early so far.
Yeah, this is already, a lot of movement. Like you said, we've got a couple drivers up and down positions. Dennis Faircloth, the biggest loser at the moment, with that move to the outside, pushed him all the way back to 16th position, down 12 spots. But Justin Carey, that 21 machine up there at the front of the pack, he's up 3 right now.
I'm also starting to see a lot of movement, boys. I think this is something we're going to have to monitor as this race goes on. These cars are wobbling down the backstretch. They give a hard shove. It seems like the cars bob and weave a little bit. That could be something that's tires especially wear if we see an incident later, and which will eventually happen, I'd have to assume.
You guys think that these drivers are antsy for this new season or what?
They look like it. The pushes are not super aggressive, but they are starting to be a little bit more aggressive. We'll see the pushing get more and more aggressive as this season, or as this race continues to go on, especially later in the race. Can't afford to not be aggressive. Is right now Todd Giles, he's kind of laying off the pack here in 18th. He's got to kind of close up a little bit. Don't want to lose this pack because, well, we know that's not a great thing when it comes to super speedway racing.
Yeah, not at all.
I was going to say, we got a few new names in the field tonight making potentially their first start with these guys. So there might be some off-center bumps and a little bit of, unsynced driving between these drivers as they go through this race. A lot of new names, and it's been a while since most of these guys have raced with each other. This is the longest off season that BTDY has had in recent years, as Chris Simard now jumps to the top in front of Justin Carey. The 21 push him back to the point. Looks like through the trial he should be able to complete the pass, and he will lead at the line. So Simard back to where he started, and we'll see if he holds up there on the top side or drops down in front of Jeff Wright. Looks like Wright going to be able to get alongside through turns 1 and 2.
Going to give Simard the outside. He's going to have help from the 21 Justin Carey, who just missed the chase the last season. And like you said, this more, I would say, a long off season. Now we're into the kicking off season. Obviously next week at Daytona, we expect to have AJ Stravado. We expect to have Bailey Turner, guys who were very close to winning the championship last year. Keith Maiato, maybe another one we're going to see. All guys that we've always talked about, and I can't wait to see, once we get races going. Everybody knows Jeff Wright's the guy to beat, right? But here's the thing. Last year at the end, Seth Hatchell gave him a run for his money. As you can see, Hatchell peeking out 3 wide. But these drivers over that offseason, they've had time to race in other leagues and get themselves better and improve their racecraft, improve their driving styles, and improving their skills on certain racetracks. I'm really curious to see if we're going to see anybody surprise. And I really think this year, we look at that guy is pushing Jeff Wright. He's made big strides every season that I've watched him in here in BTDY, and that's an 03 at Noah Mahalski. I think that's going to be somebody you're going to have to watch out for in this year. I think for sure a most certain chase contender, but I think that's somebody you're going to have to watch out for on race wins, maybe any given Tuesday.
Yeah, he was definitely really competitive during the last season. We also see him on Saturday nights occasionally, and you can see he is just constantly learning and improving as a driver, and his speed has come right along with it. And right now he's following the 2-time champion Seth Hatchell as they make their way through the mid-pack here on the top side. And there's a contact at the front.
Jeff Wright spins, and oh my goodness, what a lick to the inside wall for the defending champion. And if that's not going to somehow be a caution, I've got to think there will be a caution for that, as a heavy wreck of hood flying into the air. And look at Jeff Wright's car somehow, some way, still under power, as there's the caution coming out, but crab walking, and now going to lose that fast repair. And it looked like it all started with Justin Carey.
Yeah, it looks like he got turned maybe off the nose of
Rookie,
Cody Atkins.
Was that Jace Coley?
Oh, that may have been
Oh, was
Jason.
that
Oh, yeah, the 65. It was the 65, not the 55.
That looked like a classic, oh man, it's a heavy hit to the inside wall. It's like 82 got some damage. That's Fry. There's Carey with a little bit of damage. Not sure who else got involved in that, but good job by everybody missing most of that wreck. But Carey heavy damage. I think maybe even Mahalski might have some damage out of that too.
Max Koss got into the back of the 82 as they were all checking up right there. So a bunch of cars with damage after that incident. And that's going to happen when you get turned at the front of the field.
Oh, yeah, and that, like I said, look at maybe more of the pushing the pusher kind of issue there is, oh, Ray Massey got a piece of that. The 4-car did a good job of missing. So did Giles. Brett Baldeck. Good to see him back in the series. He made some starts. I remember when we had the Cup cars in BTDY, and now in the Xfinity car. But yeah, first caution of the evening coming out on lap number 9. And remember, these guys do have a quick repair, so they'll be able to get back with a clean race car. And right there, like we said, maybe the rookie not being used to how these guys push, how these guys are aggressive. getting a taste of it early as Jace Cooley gets into the back bumper of Justin Carey. But Chris Smart, how about Chris Smart's save? He got hit in that and a heck of a save there.
Yeah, and I'm just watching Jeff Wright make his way back to the pit stop here. And it looks like the engine just expired on that car, so he's going to be able to roll it right into the box and get it fixed up. That is perfect timing, because if that engine had expired any sooner, he may not have made it back, and that may have
Even
been
if he would have missed his stall, he would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
As, oh man, how about this whole field coming in except Cooley? Stays out on the racetrack, and that makes you wonder. I think we could probably make it to the end of the race, or it'll be close at least. But interesting to see. But I think if you're Cooley, you probably want to bring it into pit road, because if everybody pits now, nobody's probably going to pit with you when you come in as Seth Hatchell fuel only, Samar fuel only. So that'll put the V-Speed teammates in the lead, and Cody Atkins up to third, and some guys taking 2, some guys electing to take 4. As our first caution of the BTDY Clash is out, but, you know, while we're racing now, well, let's see where Jeff Wright is on the racetrack. He is our defending champion. We'll think we pull him up here in a second, but if he comes to pit road, don't want to mess up his pit road entry or anything like that. So he's not. So how about we dial up our defending champion?
It does look like he is bringing it down here.
Not starting. He had me sold. I was like, oh, he's good. He's good. Well, you know what? I'm pulling him in either way. Jeff Wright. You got a copy, buddy?
I got a copy.
Well, man, it's good to hear you. Good to talk to you. The Pepsi Max car had a little issue, but nonetheless, you're the defending champion. You got no fast repair, but nonetheless, like I said, you are the defending champion. How are you excited to be back for BTDY?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it feels like we've been off for a while. So I'm super excited to be back here, and you know we got to try to defend that title. So I think I believe we're still in the race with Seth with the race to 3, right? I think
yeah,
Seth
you are. Yes.
Slide. So yeah, looking forward to another great season here in BTDY, and you know, just super appreciative of all the sponsors on board, all the league admins make this thing happen. Obviously, you guys up in the booth. So yeah, should be a fun year. But yeah, we didn't start things off the way we wanted to, right there, going head first into the inside wall. But thankfully, we got a fast repair, so we'll see what we can salvage out of this.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time. I'm going to ask my other colleagues in the booth. Adam, Logan, got any questions for Jeff here?
No questions. Just go get them.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Have fun up there.
Appreciate you, Jeff, and we'll hopefully maybe be talking to you here at the end of this thing.
Sounds good.
All right. I hope I moved them into the right channel. All right. Well, hey, we're still under caution here. Again, surprised Cully didn't pit. That'll be interesting to see. Some guys topping off on fuel, Baldeck, Loveland, he's in.
Yeah, they may be right on the edge of the fuel range if it goes green from here. The way they were racing, it may not go green the entire way, but a lot of these guys also may be involved in that, getting a little damage, getting repaired, and then you know, they're going to try and hang at the back, maybe preserve their fuel. Could be a good way to be there at the end.
For sure. Now, I want to apologize. I thought I said Loveland in the 2. He's in the L2. He is in the orange and black VSP car. That 2 was actually Michael Jones that has the Snap-on Tools car. And, you know, there was a couple tool companies that were sponsoring guys last year. I know Mako Tools, so that was Joshua Banks. And I don't know if we'll be seeing him this season, but hopefully he does come around. I think, obviously, one of those drivers, if he is around, he will be a threat on the short tracks. For sure. Now, I got to ask you, gentlemen, we obviously know Jeff Wright and Seth Hatcher for sure, top 2. Who do you guys see maybe could dethrone one of these guys for the championship this year?
Man,
You know, go ahead, Logan.
I have to go with what Alec was saying earlier. That 03 of Noah Mahalski, just watching him develop as a driver last season in the BTDY series, racing with him in the SNR series, that dude's got some speed. I think that he has a very good possibility of being up there, at least in the top 5 by the end of all this.
I think you can. What do you think, Adam? Who do you think? Who's your pick maybe the kind of dethrone one of these 2 guys?
For the championship, you're asking,
For
right?
the championship. Championship.
Yeah, no, I think it might be a driver who has finished runner-up a couple of times, being Bailey Turner, finally breaking through to get his first championship. He's been so close multiple times, finishing behind Adam Cabot, behind Jeff Wright. and he's been right there knocking on the door season after season, getting a lot of wins. He's my kind of sleeper underdog pick, I would say.
I think that's a good pick. I think for me, I'm gonna keep it there. I think Brody Hayes is somebody we got to watch out for later in this year. Is he'll be less in the shop. I think maybe a little more time to work on the racing. So be able to see what he does as the green flag goes back out in the air. And rookie Jace Cooley up in front of one of the two-time champions, Seth Hatchell, Chris Samard also in line, bottom three on the bottom single file, have a little bit of a breakaway, but here comes Mackey up on the outside, help from Kevin Fry in the 82.
Yeah, good push up there on the outside. They get a really nice run down the backstretch, and we'll see if they're able to get alongside down into turn number 3. It's the 99 and the 65. Both drivers with not a ton of experience in BTDY, but doing a good job so far in this one. And then Seth Hatchell, of course, two-time champion right there, second on the inside lane, his teammate behind him. Teammates are important here at Talladega and any super speedway drafting track. But when it comes down to those last few laps, I think all bets are off. Those guys they're going to be racing for themselves, especially in a race like the Clash.
Absolutely, and I think next week we'll see teammates matter even more. How about Ray Massey split in the middle on Kevin Fry? As up to the outside comes Mahalski. He looks high back up, and then there's Jeff Wright behind him. But man, oh man, what great racing already as we are coming up to what will be a third of the way through in just a couple laps. And shout out to Ray Massey in that pink and white car, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I guess, paint scheme. And looking at the sponsor there, I think that's Cruise for the Cure. So that is a good looking scheme. And a shout out to him and for what he's doing, and obviously for breast cancer awareness. Here comes the 99, trying to come down. A little contact with Michael Jones on the bottom, and Massey going to prevail through the middle with Wright pushing him. And there's one more car, white and blue. Well, that's last year's Clash winner here at Talladega, and that's Max Kost. Getting help from his teammate Noah Mahalski as Michael Jones flicks up to the middle, goes back down to the bottom in front of Faircloth. And so far now, 2 rows of side by side. How about Maxie going for the lead?
Yeah, pushed all the way to the front of the field by Jeff Wright. Didn't take him very long to get back up here. Goes from last to just about first, and only a couple of laps after the restart. And he's going to push Ray Massey clear of the inside lane. And now action picking up on the top side, all led by that 23 machine. He's going to drop down and leave the 48 to lead the way in that groove. And Jeff Wright says, I'll take that opportunity here.
He does, and he jumps in front of Cooley, and now Wright with a push from Kost to the outside and move the Pepsi Max machine to the lead at the moment. And like you said, from last now to first in just a couple handful of laps. And right now, how about Kost up to second? Does he try to dive down to the bottom? No, he stays in line in that middle lane, and he's got teammate Noah Mahalski. And how about Dennis Faircloth in that 80 car? He's up to he's 6th on the racetrack, but 4th car in line, orange roof, white and black Toyota Supra. He is moving up through the field, and then there's Shake Mackey, Kevin Fry, and the 4 of Baltic moving up in line. And how about Faircloth? Going to take it up to the outside. High, wide, and handsome. Won't be able to go anywhere because no help.
He already tried it once earlier tonight. He's going to drop back in line this time. Learned his lesson, it looks like. And out in front, it's still Jeff Wright. The big push from Max Kost. Down low, it's the 23 of Ray Massey. Going to try and get the advantage through the tri-oval with the push from Coley, and he will get the advantage at the line. So biggest mover of the night so far, Ray Massey up 15 positions from where he started. Max Kost, your second biggest mover. And then, of course, we've had a couple drivers recover, being Dennis Faircloth climbing back through the field, and Jeff Wright, of course, recovering from his accident. So all kinds of comers and goers so far in this one, just still under halfway in this race. We've seen a lot of action.
We sure have, and it's been some great racing throughout the field. And looking right now, maybe these guys calm down, knowing they do have to make it on fuel. I don't know if we'll be able to see these guys really make. I think we'll probably see some green flag pit stops, barring any bit of a stage break or fun caution, if you so will. But I think right now it's looking pretty decent as the field still side by side, about 6 to 7 rows deep.
Yeah, Coley, the only one who hasn't made a pit stop, right? He's going to have to be thinking about fuel mileage, because he's probably not going to be able to go the distance with the fuel load that they've got in the car. Right now, he's not in the worst position to save fuel, but he's also not in the best, and it doesn't look like he's trying to save right now.
No, it doesn't. He's he's kind of in a weird spot because he does have to pit at a certain point in this race, and as he goes to the lead, how about Jace Coley going up in front of the two-time champion Jeff Wright? Is a little bob and weave there, and he's got to pick a lane in which one he wants to go to, and he does pick with Wright again off the corner, but it stacks up the top lane, and if you're Jeff Wright, if you get another wreck, well, you don't have fast repair.
Yeah, he's got to be mindful of that situation, and the 65 being the one who kind of caused it for him, right? I don't know how happy he is or upset he is with him, but he is pushing him right now, and the 65 leads that lap, and he's going to be clear of Massey down low, but doesn't take that line away, and still 48 going to push him through the corner here, side by side throughout the entire field, all the way back to James Loveland, running in that 18th spot.
Loveland, this whole entire field's kind of still together as Coley gets a push from Wright, and Massey on the bottom, a push from Hatchell. And then third car in line, Samard, that orange and black with silver numbers, that's going to be Chris Samard. And then that white and blue with also silver numbers on the roof, that's Max Koss with that neon blue for the Neon Auto Racing team. And so far, I think guys minded their P's and Q's after that first wreck. But again, this action's going to pick up slowly but steadily because we are close enough on halfway in this clash already.
Yeah, good battling side by side all throughout the field, and I'm just excited for this season, guys. It's great to be back with this league, and this being a little smaller field than we'll get through at least the early portion of the season, right? I think we're looking at 35-40 cars. We're going to go to Daytona next week. This is a really good kind of trial for some of these guys who are new to the series, find out who they can work with, how these guys race. And again, just get back in sync, with everybody else in this league to be comfortable next week when the points are actually going to be paid out at the end of the race.
But do keep in mind, there is a pot for the winner here at the Clash.
Oh, well, I think all bets are off when we get to the end of this thing, right? But
yeah,
I think for this season, though, like you said, it's good to get experience and you have the first two super speedways, but after those super speedways, you have what I consider the bread and or the meat and potatoes of the schedule, and that's some short tracks, 1.5 miles, so road course thrown up in there. All tracks that are a little bit more skill based than I would say Daytona and Talladega are. So we'll see who performs the best. Obviously, we know the guys that were at the top of the season last year will probably be the guys to beat every week, but we know the diversity that comes in competition at this league. There's always, every week it seems like, always somebody new challenging up there for the win. And I mean, tell you what, some of the races I've broadcasted for different leagues, man, there's one series we're 8 for 8 on new winners in the season. I'm BTDY. There was one year they went, I think, 10 for 11 races in the first 11 races of the season. So you just never know, man. BTDY, it's racing still, no matter what, whether it's virtual or real life. Racing's just, that's what's so great about it. And like they say, any given Sunday, but I think I'm going to coin the phrase, any given Tuesday, one of these drivers can step up and win.
Yeah, so many talented drivers, so much history to these drivers as well. They've been running this series for years now. Really started all the way back in 2020, 2019 time frame, and they've been holding strong and keep going year after year. And so much great competition, amazing finishes, and so many guys that love racing here. So definitely fun to see them back, and I'm excited to see who can challenge, previous champions. If we've got new names coming in, it's going to be cool to see, maybe the new cream rise to the top, and that would be, be a real surprise, real shocker for some. But also, that's how quick things can change in racing. But I know we're going to have our mainstay drivers here, right, that are always going to be competing, like you said.
I think that's for sure. We'll see that throughout the year. And I know Adam, you're going to be a part of broadcasting this series once again. I know I'll be a part of broadcasting, and Logan, you're going to be here for most of the season. So I'm looking forward to, we'll probably all work together at a certain point. And I know this, I can tell you that I'll probably be racing one of those races, as I always make my one race appearance at Pocono, and I'm sure we'll see you on the track as well, Adam, and maybe even Logan, we'll see you on the track.
Yeah, might as well.
I think, why not? Have like the broadcast car.
Yeah, the rotating cast of characters there. Yeah, well, I got Watkins Glen circled on the calendar here. That's my home track, right? I always love racing there, and in the Xfinity cars, it's a little different beast than the next gens, like the last time I ran there with these guys. So that's one I've got circled. But there's a lot of tough guys to beat at the road courses, so I don't expect to go out and shock anybody. But it's always fun to get out there with these boys.
Hey, how about Ryan Gimmel, though? Racing the ARCA race. I know you were spotted for him. And shout out to Ryan, who did a heck of a job at Watkins Glen. I think got 8th and taking up to the big teams of ARCA, taking up to some of the Venturini cars, and did a good job. And it was awesome to see him and pull for him. It's tough when you have Connor Zilic in the field, I can tell you that. But, man, he was good to see. And he was pretty racy out there. And if it wasn't for Connor Zilic, who we know is a rising star in the NASCAR world, he'll be, we'll probably see him on Sundays every now and then, and probably for a while, I should say. But it was really cool to see Ryan Gimmel out there, and we know we'll see Ryan Gimmel in this series at some point. He is a part-time driver, so look forward to seeing him. And, well, Adam, man, you're apparently spotter now.
Yeah, I guess so. Helped spot him, through the last lap chaos and a couple of wrecks there in the bus stop at Watkins Glen. That was definitely an amazing experience, and so incredibly proud of him as a guy that I've known through iRacing and through V-Speed for a long time, all the way back to about 2017. And to see him get a real world opportunity and take full advantage and open up the door for other opportunities. And that's some of the cool stuff you get here from sim racing. It's just virtual, but there's so many amazing real world connections and experience that you can learn from this platform. And these guys right now learning how to stay in line with each other, not cause accidents as things thinned out a little bit. But the 65...
Coley. Oh, look at that. Ball back to the outside.
Yeah.
Wide for the lead. I don't think those guys thought better of it. And how about this, Malty? Look at Michael Jones through the middle. All the way from last to almost first as he splits the middle with Wright and Mikulski. They almost make contact. And how about Jones up to the lead of the second line?
Yeah, and Coley able to take the lead away. He gets around the 48 machine. He's probably going to have to bring it down pit road in a little bit here. About 5-10 laps. I think he is going to have to bring it down.
I think Michael Jones is going to get this lap led here.
Yeah, he sure is. And how about that? Michael Jones from way in the back to the front jumps down now to the inside. No help. And now Mikulski is going to be there. And how about the 4 of Brett Baldeck, who we haven't really talked about much other than that 4 being in the field. And now he's there. And how about Kevin Fry, also involved in that first lap wreck, and he is worked up to third in line. Jones almost on the bottom, a little bit below that double yellow line. And so far, Mikulski takes the lead. Baldeck not clear yet, but he's pushing that 03, that green and black Chevy Camaro. But Michael Jones fighting back on the inside. Help from Coley on the bottom.
Alec, would you dare say below the double yellow?
I thought about that as I said that. I was like, oh shoot, it's kind of a pun. Maybe
it's an opportunity that was missed.
It was. I know. I was thinking about that. I should have said pun intended, but that's my bad. Is right now Michael Jones gets to the lead, and Mikulski jumps down in line, and Coley goes up to the outside, shoots way high, almost Ryan Newman-esque of 2014. Although I gotta wonder, is he out of fuel?
Oh, he might be. This would be about that time that he really has to worry about it.
We'll see as Coley goes way to the back and look at the outside lane surge. Brett Baldeck, Kevin Fry, a huge run. Behind them is the 99 of Mackey. And how about Giles up in 4th, now 5th in line as Loveland pushing him. And now Baldeck up to the outside of Jones, but not a lot of help here as now the 82 closing up slowly but surely, looks high. And that bottom lane very much intact. And now Baldeck trying to get to the bottom. Clear Jones. He can't. And Jones surging back ahead. Will he lead the lap? He will at the line as Baldeck just falls short. And how about Mackey up to the middle?
Yeah, all kinds of moves being made. You think they're just experimenting right now with who's going to go with them?
They are. And if you notice, all these guys that we see in this top 4, they have not won a race in BTDY. Heck, well, there's only, 3-4 guys in this field that have ever won a race I should say more than that actually when I look at it, but there's a couple of guys that have won a race, but a lot of guys up here in the front, we have yet to see them in victory lane in BTDY.
Well, I know that the 2 of Michael Jones, this is his inaugural race here with BTDY.
It is, yeah. Two, and we look here. What is this? Three. Baldeck, I wouldn't consider a rookie, but he hasn't ran a full-time season. And then Mackey and Jones, they are full-time rookies. Giles a rookie, and we've seen Coley be up front. He's also a rookie.
A lot of fresh names up here at the front of this field. This is really going to boil down to be a very interesting season here.
It will, and these rookies battling for the lead. It's Baldeck, Jones, then Mackey up on the outside. Mahalski now surges up to fourth, right on the bottom in fifth. It's now Giles in the High Rock Vodka Machine. Chevrolet Camaro on the outside, surging ahead a little bit. Help from James Loveland, the 02. The 82 of Kevin Fry has kind of fallen back a little bit, about a car length or two off the outside. Jones now goes up to the outside for the lead on Baldeck, but no help, and makes you wonder, are these guys trying to save fuel to the end of this race?
Yeah, it kind of looks that way. It looks like a lot of drivers content to settle down in the inside lane, run single file for now.
Giles with the run to the outside. The 14, Todd Giles Jr. up to the outside. Can he lead the lap? No, Baldeck just leads it by about 18 one-thousandths of a second. As now Jones up in the middle, Mackey on the bottom, Giles bobbing, weaving on the outside. He'll have to tuck back in line, and it's Loveland right behind them. But I am starting to notice, guys, that especially in the back, the loaded admin racing team, Atkins, Sullivan, Dice, all kind of been minding the P's and Q's in the back, letting these guys race up here in the front, and maybe we'll see Sullivan, who we know, one of those guys to look out for when it comes to saving fuel. And also got to remember is sometimes saving fuel is the way to go because you can have a shorter pit stop.
Yeah, every advantage that you can get, that's racing, right? You're trying to get every inch that you can take. And yeah, right now all these guys pretty much single file. The only one out of line, Todd Giles up there on the top side. He's still running out there all by himself up here in the top 5. But most drivers content to run in line at the moment. Here come the loaded admin team, though, at the back.
Now they're deciding to push. Here they go.
Justin Carey's going to jump in with them. 4 cars on the top side.
Oh, man. Big head of steam. They're going to get to the front really quick. Look at this.
Yeah, they are going to catch right up
Cody
to the
Atkins.
back of Todd
A
Giles.
huge run. And he's got all teammates behind him, minus Justin Carey, who's kind of been in line with him. Cody Atkins looks high, looks low, splits the middle between Giles and Loveland. And Atkins up to third, up to second, help from Solomon. Now Baldeck not going to have an answer for it, and Cody Atkins might lead the lap. We'll see if his teammate decides to go and ditch him for it, but no, he won't. Cody Atkins leads the lap, and how about Dallas Sullivan in that Lego machine? Looks low, but stays behind his teammate in a new-looking Ford Mustang. We're so used to watching him in the Octane car last year. Now, in the Lego machine painted by Dennis Faircloth, a beautiful paint scheme to say the least. Now about Alan Dice, can't miss the Affinity for Gaming Chevrolet Camaro on the outside, in that 5-car, bright 5, yellow 5 on the outside. Mackey falling in line, and then Dallas Sullivan, Cody Atkins staying up on the top. Loveland and Giles following with them.
Man, that was
just
run.
Wow.
They leapfrogged the field, just completely went around them like everybody was standing still, and they're still pulling away.
But you know what that looks like? I'll take a trip down memory lane when we had the Cup cars here. I remember, I think it was Dylan Parker and Dane Cruz. They built a monstrous run, and they went from like 25th to 26th to like 1st and 2nd in turns 3 and 4, all the way to the front stretch. I don't know if you recall that, Adam. I think we were back.
Yeah, I think I do remember that moment. They flew through the field, and I don't know if they ended up winning that race, either of them. I don't think either.
I want to say Ryan Gemmell won that race, I think.
Might have been Ryan in that one. I don't know. We've had a lot of crazy moments on these super speedways over the years.
Baldeck to the outside. How about Dennis Faircloth? He just went from about 16th place position, and he is hauling the mail on the outside. Baldeck goes by, and it seems to be a roulette game of who wants to burn some fuel and who wants to go and save some fuel. There's a big checker on the bottom behind them. Wright stacks up. Massey gets on the back end of him, and it looks like Giles now goes to the outside. Mackey jumps up. Another car, Michael Jones and Chris Samar getting out of line, but I think Giles might have a chance to lead the lap. No, he won't. And Baldeck gets another one. I think this is going to be very close on fuel, other than Jace Cooley, who is, I have to think, is on the edge of his fuel mileage window.
He's at the back of the field right now, just hanging on to the draft.
He is praying for a caution.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably saving as much as he can back here, but that last spot in the draft can be kind of dangerous. Very easy to lose the draft if you're not up to full song.
And here they come up to the outside. It's Todd Giles Jr. with help from Jake Mackey and Michael Jones. Giles jumps down to the inside, leaving Mackey and Jones all to fend for themselves as it's Sullivan and Baldeck behind the 14 of Giles. And now 2 rows of side-by-side while the rest of the field stays single file, probably saving fuel as the 65 car looks to be coming down pit road. So the rookie Jace Cooley brings his Chevrolet Camaro to the attention of his pit crew, but now will be able to make it on fuel, but at the expense of the draft.
Todd Giles leads that lap, and he came all the way from last place, starting position to lead. We've had a lot of lead changes so far in this one. And how about that 14, though, getting a lap led? Here comes the 99 of Mackey around the outside with some help. Should be able to get by as the 14 kind of slowing up just a little bit here down the backstretch. And then Dallas Sullivan up there with him as well, trying to give a push to Giles.
Push. A huge push from Brett Baldeck, shoving them about 2 car lengths clear of Todd Giles Jr. And Michael Jones, all by himself, is going to have to get in line at some point. I think he could have right there. He just missed an opportunity. And now Cody Atkins is underneath him, and he looks like he'll be getting freight trained by the rest of the field on the inside lane. It's the top 2, I should say top 4, kind of pulling away from this. So this field, it's kind of like a slinky. It kind of goes back and forth, and they go back and forth, or maybe even an accordion, if you so will. Playing the notes back and forth, the momentum goes up, and then it goes down. The field gets spread up, but then it always comes back together at the end. Is the top 2, Baldeck, Mackey, or I should say the top 5, Mackey, Baldeck, Giles, Sullivan, and Jones, followed by Atkins, Fairclough, Dice, Loveland, and Terry, the top 10, while last year's winner, Max Cost, rides in 11th. Noah Mahowski is 12th. 13th is reigning champion Jeff Wright. 14th is Ray Massey. Seth Hatchell is 15th. Kevin Fry is 16th. Chris Samard, the last car in the draft, 17th, while Jace Coley is also going into turn 1, but is going to fall a lap down very soon. But I want to point one thing out. The field-saving fuel is turning 51.1s, 51.0s at their fastest, while Coley, full throttle by himself with enough fuel to make it to the end, well, he's turning 51.1s, and it just shows that this field is 100% saving fuel.
Well, actually, yeah, his best lap is a 51.1. I don't know his last lap. Yeah. I was looking at the same column as you.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. But we'll see as Coley will come out. He just got his service done. And how about this? The V-Speed car is shooting up to the outside. That's Seth Hatchell and Chris Samard, Kevin Fry, and Dennis Fairclough shoot up. And look at how spread out this field is getting. Those guys maybe deciding to push, get track position, get some... get to track position to the end there to be ready at the front for the finish of this race.
Yeah,
As we are closing up on 5 laps to go soon, less than 10 to go, 8 laps to go right now, coming to 7 to go.
Hatchell closes right in on the back bumper of Dennis Faircloth, going to try and push him around the outside of Dallas Sullivan, and he's going to do just that. Look at the run. Giles slows up big time.
And Sullivan and Michael Jones had to get out of the gas, but look at this, Faircloth up to the outside. Mackey trying to throw a block, thinks better of it, goes to the middle and gets shuffled out of line, and look at those outside cars go. The veterans going to the front. Faircloth, Hatchell, Samard, contact in the back, Giles bouncing off of Jones and Sullivan.
Yeah, and I think Dallas just kind of trying to find a way around. The 14 obviously off pace right now. Not exactly sure what happened. If he caught the apron or something like that to slow him up that much, but he has checked up the 46, the 55, the 5, and then also Ray Massey. All those drivers kind of held behind the 14, not able to get around, but they'll try and focus forward here with laps winding down.
And we'll have to see what happens here as this top 5 now starting to move around. They're on board with Dennis Faircloth. I'll tell you what, Adam, they're getting going, and Logan, we're watching this all together, Adam and Logan. This is getting wild and crazy, and we're coming to the end of this race. These guys are going to start getting desperate, making moves, because there's just cash on the line.
Yeah, this is where that experience of these long race tracks, you know, that, like you mentioned, the veterans making that late game move up here to the front as a pack and just left everybody behind there. That's all experience.
Yeah, and it's all about timing that final move. We're still so long to go in this race. You know, it's 5 laps, but that's a long ways around here. It's over 10 miles, you know, almost 15 miles a distance. So these guys, you know, they're not done making moves yet. We still see drivers jumping to the top side further back in the pack, trying to find their way forward.
And we got to also remember, too, fuel mileage could be tight. As we've been seeing these guys try to save a little fuel, go single file, they're right on their edge of their fuel window. That's maybe why we saw Hatchell, Samard, and Faircloth get out of line, because they felt like they're comfortable to start racing. Start thinking about going out here, as now we are looking to lap Jace Coley, who is by himself, almost about 2.5 seconds ahead of these guys, and they'll be there within the next lap or so. But this racing is getting interesting here, and man, I'll tell you what, Ray Massey making some moves here. I look, Giles has lost the pack, and he's actually coming down pit lane, maybe not going to be able to make it on fuel here, and Baldeck going to the back as well, so fuel getting tight for a lot of these guys. Can they make it to the end with 5 laps to go here from Talladega?
Yeah, I think Baldeck, he led a chunk of this race, right? But he has pit twice. He pit an extra lap after the rest of the drivers. Yeah, he did top off. So did James Loveland. I think he's currently leading the cars that came down 1 lap later. So right now he's up here in the lead group, right behind Chris Samard. And yeah, James Loveland could be a contender for this win if everybody starts running out of fuel on that last lap.
Be able to see what happens, Logan. These guys, here comes a rookie on the outside, Kevin Fry and Michael Jones, rookies, I should say, on the outside, taking up to the veterans here for the lead.
Not a lot of time left. The 82 trying to make that move on the top. Dennis Faircloth leading the way, smooth and steady down low with the V-Speed teammates behind him. And we are at 3, or going to be coming to 3 laps to go next time around. There's the lap machine of Coley up on the top side. See if he stays up and out of the way, and if everyone's able to navigate, that can be a tricky situation with the speed differential there. And it looks like off of turn number 2 should be able to get around him, and he's going to have to hope that he can catch the draft here behind the pack, and he'll get in line on the top side.
A nice mover, and I think a lot of respect from the veteran driver, seeing him get out of the way, pokes in line. Michael Jones thinking about going to the bottom. He's iffy on it. He looks low still, and he gets in line. That hangs out the 82 of Fry. And now the 99 of Mackey will have to close up behind him. Coley, who is a lap down now, 3rd in line. And this bottom lane back down on the bottom here. They're going here now, maybe looking at Dallas Sullivan and Cody Atkins trying to build a run here. Here comes Sullivan shooting up high. Wyatt handsome up, almost out to the outside safer barrier. 3 laps to go from Talladega, and here come the teammates once again, rallying up down from the back of the pack. They look high on Mackey. They'll get there. Mackey thinks better of throwing a block. There's a lap car ahead just halfway down the backstretch. Here comes Sullivan, help from Atkins. Dice not connected with them, but a big push to the outside. Sullivan surging ahead.
And what a huge head of steam there in the 3rd lane. They've got Coley in the middle. That could kind of slow them up, though. But they're able to mostly navigate around him. Still 3 wide with Dice. And also the 2 of Michael Jones.
That's Fry in the middle, and that Slayer machine, he can't seem to have any help. Dice gonna maybe get hung out to dry. Here comes Giles. They're lapping the 14. This could play an interesting role. He's gonna go up to the outside wall. He needs to keep it up there. He's gonna be 4 wide for a second. Maybe not. He'll be 3 wide, but he's all the way up to the outside as we're on board with them. Don't want to have a reverse Kevin LePage as he's up into the outside wall almost. And might have just got it, but here comes the outside lane now. More help than ever. 2 laps to go. I should say a lap and a half to go. Sullivan up on the outside. Help from teammate Cody Atkins. So, and on the inside, it's Faircloth. Help from Hatchell.
Brett Baldeck pit last time around, by the way, so he's not in the running for this right now. And good move on Giles to get out of the way. He gave every inch of room possible and then some. As coming to the white flag right now. Dead heat between the top 2, Sullivan and Faircloth, fighting for this win.
Oh boy, this is going to be tight. 1 lap to go in the clash to open the BTDY season. It's Faircloth on the bottom in the 80 car. Help from the 8 black and blue machine of Hatchell. On the outside, it's Sullivan with help from his teammate Cody Atkins. Jostling back in the pack. Jones is sideways. Faircloth is out of fuel. Bobbing and weaving on the bottom. There's trouble. Sullivan in the outside wall. They all wreck. They crash for a second. They're all wrecking. Here is
Hatchell
reckoning
gonna
his
do?
potential. Hatchell looks low. Fairclough now. Cost to the middle. There's
Oh.
Hatchell in the world. And how about that? Back-to-back Clash wins. Max Cost gets the win at Talladega with Noah Mahalski's help in second and Cody Atkins third. I may or may not have messed up that finish completely, but it is Seth Hatchell in the wall and a big wreck on the back stretch. Jeff Wright is fifth, but how about that? Max Cost another win in the Clash back-to-back.
That is incredible stuff. Survived the wreck there on the backstretch. I saw some Mard turned around in that. It all looked like it might have started with the 80 of Dennis Faircloth running out of fuel, and ultimately Max Cost 2 in a row for the Clash at BTDY.
What do you guys say about taking it back and taking another look at it?
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea, and man, oh man, it all started dominoes falling, and his here is, Cost is like 14th or 15th on his final lap. What
all
a
about where you're
job.
running at the checkered. You know, it doesn't matter where you are halfway around that lap. It's all about getting back to that start finish line, and he did just a perfect job of that, navigating the accident. Let's see how he gets through it here with all of that traffic in front of him. Up there on that top side.
Yeah, and you can see this field is all kind of bobbing, or they're all bobbing and weaving here. He was the first one to make a move. Kerry tried to block it, but then right here, Faircloth pulls to the bottom right here. It jumbles up the field, and I want to say it was a push from Cody Atkins to Sullivan, and then everybody sliding down. Samard, I thought, was going to clip Cody Atkins into Hatchell, and we might have had an Indy cars finish this race. As there goes Jeff right in the wall, and look at this. There's really nowhere for Seth Hatchell to go because the run is so big from Max Cost. He did a great job faking high and then low. And what a job from Max Cost and teammate Noah Mahalski. Hatchell ends up in the wall. And then Cody Atkins comes home third. And Max Cost gets the win. And with little fuel he has, is going to park it on the start-finish line. And oh my goodness, what a way to open up this BTDY season. It's starting with Max Cost, the winner, once again in the Clash. How about that?
And that's a finish that, you know, is very reminiscent of so many BTDY finishes, right? They are just known for incredible closing laps and, you know, finishes like that throughout these last few seasons, right? It's just always incredible to watch these guys duke it out each and every Tuesday night, and so glad to be back and see Max Cost get another victory here. Let's go to a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll pull in those top three finishers: Cody Atkins, Noah Halski, and Max Cost.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
And welcome back to the Talladega Super Speedway after the finish of what was a phenomenal BTDY Clash. Here to kick off season 4. Let's take a look at our finishing results here for tonight's race. 1 caution. How about that? 24 lead changes. Just about everybody in this field led a lap as Max Cost goes back-to-back Clash wins and a huge hot start to the season. We'll see if he can back it up at Daytona next week. His teammate Noah Mahalski comes home in second. Cody Atkins is third. Seth Hatchell comes home fourth. Jeff Wright, the reigning champion, in fifth. Justin Carey was sixth. Dallas Sullivan is seventh. Chris Samard eighth. Alan Dice is ninth. And Dennis Faircloth out of fuel is 10th.
In 11th, it was James Loveland. 12th, Brett Baldack. 13th was Michael Jones. 14th, Ray Massey here tonight. 15th is going to be Kevin Fry. 16th, Jake Mackey. 17th, Jace Coley. Todd Giles finishes in the 18th spot. And AJ Stravato being scored in the 19th position.
Yeah.
Really great race by a lot of these drivers, and a lot of them caught up in the final lap incident at the back of the pack there.
It sure was a wild one, gentlemen. And Stravato, the Italian stallion, he didn't race tonight, but I'm sure we'll see him at the season opener at Daytona. Well, we'll get to that in just a second, as I believe our colleague Logan has caught up with the 55 of Cody Atkins after his third place finish.
If we can get these guys up here, and we'll certainly do some interviews with them. Cody Atkins, you got Logan, Adam, and Alec all in the booth up here tonight. You got a copy, buddy.
Hello, I do.
Well, fantastic race there, man. You put on quite the show as well as everybody else. I'm curious, from the driver's seat of that 55 machine going into turn 3 with all the massive chaos, run me through it, man.
Well, after the first caution, we realized it was probably going to be a fuel strategy race, so we spent the majority of that first run saving till about lap 35. I think is when we were like, all right, let's make a move and see what happens. And so we went to the lead, and then pace kind of picked up, and we got shuffled back again. We said, all right, we know how to make the move now. Let's go ahead and let's make the move closer to the finish. So we got the move going with 2 or 3 to go, and it ended up just it being a bad push on my part. I hooked Dallas into the wall and wrecked a bunch of cars.
You know, it happens, though. It's Talladega. Everybody's battling for that top spot in those last couple of laps. You know, stuff happens, but you guys showed great team adversity, you know, trying out those moves early, getting used to it, seeing what you could do. You know, it was quite the show for multiple teams working together here tonight. And you guys, I mean, putting you up in there in third, I mean, can't complain too much with that. To start off this season with the Clash race here at Talladega, finishing third, what's your outlooks for this season for BTDY?
I'm hoping that we have a fantastic season once again. We're looking like we have a strong field of cars. We got some late entries coming for the first race of the season in 2 weeks. So we're hoping to have another good year. Hopefully a bunch of clean racing like we had towards the end of last year, where we had a bunch of races go green. So we're looking to keep that up again.
Absolutely. I think we were kind of talking about it at the beginning of the race here. Anywhere from 30 to 40 cars on grid pretty consistently is what we're looking at this season. So it's going to be action-packed through and through. Really looking forward to being a part of it. I think I can say that on behalf of myself, Adam, and Alec here. But third place, Cody Atkins. Anybody like to say thanks to you, buddy?
Thanks to the BTDY admins for having a good run there, and thanks to y'all for coming back for another great season of V-Speed broadcast.
We're happy to be here, Cody, and we will see you in 2 weeks at Daytona.
Yes, sir.
We will move
All right.
right
Yeah,
along to the next
good.
one.
Yeah, it is. And we're good. Like Adam's going to be standing here with our second place finisher, Noah Mahalski. Adam, take it away, brother.
Yes, sir. Noah, this is Adam, Alec, and Logan in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you came into the final lap there running about 13th or 14th. Big accident breaks out on the back. You got your teammate with you. you navigate through all of it and the run to the finish there. Just talk us through that last lap and pushing Max all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, we were looking really close on fuel, but when we hit the stripe, I think I had a tenth of a lap left. But I think everybody was kind of in the same boat, just trying to save. And well, they had that accident on the backstretch, and I was thinking, I'm not lifting. I got my teammate in front of me. I'm not lifting until I see God or a checkered flag, right? Isn't that what that guy said? Donna?
I don't know if that applies here in iRacing, but I understand.
Well, we saw the checkered flag, so.
Yeah, you guys did. I mean, what a run there at the end, right? You had Hatchell, you had Adkins still, who got out through the wreck in front of you and had to navigate around them, find your way to the finish line there. You were stuck on the back bumper. It looked like you might have tried to make a move there. What was going through your mind there out of turn number 4?
I didn't know if maybe it kind of looked like Seth might have been trying to bump Max, so I was kind of trying to get to the bottom and get underneath Max, but I decided to just stick in line with him because I figured that'd probably be best for both of us. Get one of us to win rather than neither of us, so we just stayed in line, pushed him. Me and Max have been good friends, good teammates, so he deserves the win. Back-to-back winner for the BTDY Clash.
Yeah, definitely really exciting racing and exciting finish here tonight. Great job by Neon Auto to get the victory, and we kick off the season in the points paying races, that is, at Daytona next week. You think the experience here tonight and racing around some of these new names is gonna pay off going into next week?
I hope so. Kind of got a little bit more of an idea on how these cars handle. Definitely with the pushes, it's a lot sketchier than it used to be. They don't handle the bumps quite as well. It kind of yaws out whenever you get up near someone, but as long as you're holding the wheel, you can kind of keep it straight. But a lot of guys can handle those bumps better than others, from what I noticed. So yeah, we got some stuff wrote down for next week.
Well, you're able to survive all the bumps, the beating and banging, and the last lap wreck there, come home in second with your teammate right there in front of you at the stripe. Second place in the Clash. Anybody want to give a shout out to, Noah?
Yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to Strobel Auto Repair for sponsoring the car. All my guys on Neon Auto, Jace Coley, Max Cost. Big thanks to Jeff Wright. And then want to thank you guys in the booth, V Speed. And then I got a list pulled up here. I'm hoping these are still current league sponsors, but want to give a shout out to Martin Sports, Sailor Terror Magic, Affinity for Gaming, Up There Disc Golf, and KHIO.
Awesome, Noah. Well, thanks for taking some time here, and great run out there. Great driving through that last couple of laps and getting a great finish here tonight to kick things off. Go celebrate with your team, and we'll catch up with you next week at Daytona.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. That is Noah Halski, the second place finisher here at the BTDY Clash. And I see you running down there, Alec. I think you're in victory lane with our winner.
I am. Max Cost, buddy. You got a copy?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing good. Probably not as good as you're doing with a back-to-back winner in the Clash, buddy. How does it feel to get the season kicked off once again with another win?
Well, I feel pretty dang good. That was crazy. I passed like 14 cars in one lap that were all wrecking and everything, and then Noah pushed me to the front. Thanks to Noah, big thanks to Noah. And then got lucky. Stephen just blocked the heck out of me and wrecked all three of us. So I appreciate Seth not throwing crazy blocks, and I'm sorry I kind of hit him too. But man, that was crazy.
It sure was. It was crazy to watch from our perspective, and like I said, you got to win. We're keeping the same style of racing and track. Is there anything that you learned tonight that you can maybe even go back to back and start the season off with the Clash and the start of the season at Daytona win?
Well, they're kind of different races because I tell you, what messes me up in those longer races are pit stops. So I got to get better at pit stops for, super speedway races. The only reason why I won this one is because we didn't have a pit stop. I always lose the draft, so.
For sure, and maybe something to work for in the practice session of next week. But we really appreciate your time, Max. And again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here tonight for the win?
Oh, we got to thank Noah. We got to thank Jeff Wright. We got to thank the new guy, Jace Coley. Great teammates. And then I want to thank the league and the league admins for putting on BTY, and thanks to all their sponsors that help us race every Tuesday night, or now hopefully every Tuesday night.
For sure, man. Well, we appreciate your time, Max. Congratulations. Go celebrate, and hopefully maybe we'll be talking to you again next week at Daytona.
Okie dokie. You guys have fun.
For sure. Appreciate you, Max. Congratulations. It's Max Cost, our winner here tonight from the BTDY Racing Series here. Gentlemen, before we conclude, how about that? What a start to the season we have. And, man, I'm excited to get this series going for the next couple of weeks and for the rest of this year and beginning of next year.
Yeah, just an incredible display of the talent that we see in this league, and an amazing finish. The Max Cost, how about that 2 in a row at the Clash? And it's just impressive driving there by Neon Auto to get through. And looking forward to kicking things off at Daytona next week.
It's going to be fun to watch. Logan, buddy, any closing thoughts before we get off and start the official regular season for BTDY?
Man, I am just so excited to be here with you guys in this booth week after week. You know, it's going to be action-packed all season. I can't wait to see these 30 and 40 car fields on the track with this group. They always manage to put on fantastic racing week after week. So I'm just ready to kick this thing off, man. If the Clash has anything, you know, to kind of help us foresee what this season's going to be like, it's going to be great.
It sure is. It's going to be a heck of a season. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys all tuning in for the BTDY Racing Series presented by Martin Sports and presented by KHIO, I should say. And what a race, what a season we've started off to. We hope that you come back next week for the start of the BTDY regular season for the Daytona International Speedway. Until then, have a phenomenal week and have a phenomenal evening. We'll see you next week from the World Center of Racing.